plan of a census into the deaths of girls aged 14 and over says politicians need to pull their finger out to address the problem of male violence against women. Her latest census figures show that more than half of women killed by men in 2018 were killed by a current or former partner. The statistics make disturbing reading. To talk to us about it, the founder of Femicide Census, Karen Smith. Karen, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
I was shocked by some of these statistics. We'll go through them in detail in a moment, but you started the census back in 2012. How and why did you begin it?
Because a young woman who had been referred to the organisation that I work for was killed, and when I went to the internet to try and find out a little bit more about what had happened to her, and I found report after report of women who had been killed, even though it was just at the beginning of the year. So I started to make a list of their names just to try and work out how many women it was, and then it never felt right to stop. It felt like if I stopped naming the women who were killed by men, I was saying that the next woman wasn't worth remembering. And also, the more I looked into it, the more angry I was about the lack of action that the government are taking, and that there was no proper data released by the government that puts together all the numbers of women killed by men.
Yeah, they are names, not just statistics, and
exactly.
Your census really puts that front and centre. But as I said, the numbers involved are shocking. More than half of women murdered are killed by a partner or ex-partner. In half the cases, men had histories of violence. 3 had killed before. And 41% of women killed were in the process of leaving or had left their partner. The big question people want to know is what can actually be done about this. There's a lot of talk about it, but what actual concrete action can be taken?
I think one of the difficulties is if you're really serious about reducing or ending men's violence against women, there isn't a single quick fix solution, otherwise we'd have done it. You've got to address your actions at multiple levels, right from the top, which is how we view men and women in society, what are our sex role and gender stereotypes, to the institutions, whether it's the law, whether it's politics, whether it's the media, and how they represent women and men, and as well as violence against women. So really you're looking at ways that sex inequality manifests itself, because we think that violence against women is a result of sex inequality, but also reinforces sex inequality. Then you've got to look at how we relate to each other at people, what we've learned about what a good relationship is, and then also look at how we deal with people who have been subjected to violence or who are inflicting violence. So all the time you need to be addressing multiple levels, and you need to have a really long-term vision and long-term resources. So another problem that we have is that we don't put enough resources into supporting women and their children who have been subjected to men's violence, and we don't put enough resources into dealing with violent men, whether that's taking them through the criminal justice system and holding them to account, or working to change their ideas.
The domestic abuse bill was due to go through Parliament. It was stopped because of the general election. When it's brought back, it's thought it will be brought back within the next few months. What do you want to see in it?
If looking for a perfect world, I wish we could have taken it back a step further and led violence against women and girls bill rather than just a domestic abuse bill. But we're not in that position now, so that I think it's a good bill, but because it focuses on domestic violence rather than men's violence against women, I think it misses the point a little bit. And I also think that there are inequality issues. So women with insecure immigration status or no recourse to public funds, they certainly weren't addressed in any way that was satisfactory in the draft bill. So when the bill comes out, that's one change I'd like to see.
Okay, Karen, really interesting to speak to you. As I said, shocking statistics, but you're fighting for those women by recording their names, not just the statistics behind what's happened to them. And Karen Gallus, thank you very much from the Femicide Census.